participated in Artfight 2025 this year, and oh boy was it a lot of fun. So I thought, hey, why not make a vid talking about the experience? And this Artfight, I also got to do some activities with friends that I think made it a little bit easier for us this year, as it can get pretty crazy once the event gets started. I'll be showing the attacks and the revenges I did for this here, with the artist name and OC name displayed in the bottom left corner, plus talking about some tips for people wanting to try Artfight, as I saw a ton of people come into my streams while I was drawing attacks, and talking about how they wanted to get into Artfight, but were nervous, which to be fair is valid since it is a month-long event. However, this year, some friends and I did something that kind of helped us all get through it. A small note though, most of this will be told from a streaming perspective, but it can still be used outside of streaming. Alright? Good, because here we go. So this was my second Artfight, as last year I participated, I was on Team Seafoam. This year I was on Team Crystal with a bunch of my friends and community, and I felt like this year's Artfight teams were pretty even, and the scoreboard was tied for most of the event too. Honestly, if you logged on the website every now and then, it would show one team ahead by less than 1%. For those of you that are also new to this topic, you might be asking,
So, what's an Artfight?
ah, well, you know that funny ink game where you throw ink at each other?
Yeah.
Well, think of it like that, but we're throwing each other's OCs at each other. That sums it up pretty well. And speaking of the site, a lot of us were actually surprised that it didn't crash this year with everything going on, even on day one. Though I think it's because Artfight did update their site to a new server. A big tip that every Artfighter gives is to get your references, yours and the person that you want to attack, and save the username of the OC's ID. It helps a lot when having to find them later, if you forgot to bookmark them, which I totally didn't forget on a few times. Spoilers if you came to my streams, yes I did. Now I want to bring up something. While yes, Artfight can be fun, I do understand that people can get nervous drawing characters or even finding people to attack, which is why during this Artfight, a bunch of my friends and I got together and did this sort of pick a person to group attack, similar to a mass attack, but this was a way for us to all draw a person's OC together. It could be the same or a different one. We picked a bunch of people before the fight began and made a day for each of them so we could all attack them together on that day, though some of us did attack early. I think that this was a fun way to keep things interesting, as we all had preferences to what kind of characters we like to draw, our comfort zone, if you will. I tend to go towards more fantasy characters, but during this Artfight, I got to draw characters I normally wouldn't have drawn or even heard of. Plus, it did keep us motivated too, which I think can be hard if you're doing Artfight alone. Doing it with friends or a community can be a great way to keep yourself going. And honestly, I think that this helped a lot more than just it being having a person to attack, because all the people we chose were very different. We also added that, hey, it's okay if you can't attack that person, or if we were late to attack that person. Our group member DL mentioned that it was good to still know that people were still getting art than the rest of us. Though most of the Artfight, I did stream it on my Twitch, as I wanted to show who I was attacking, and if my chat wanted to, they could also join in as well. Although, I ended up getting attacked myself. In fact, on day one, I got hit with 2 attacks. One from a friend of mine, and another from a chat member, and this was before I had even started the first Artfight stream. And I wasn't the only one getting bombarded. A friend in our group, Cheshire Hedgie, who also joined in a few streams with me for Artfight, got bombarded right out of the gate, which is good, because their OCs are cool and they deserve it. And same with a few of my other friends as well. It was really cool to see our friend Rook Leonhardt, despite this being their very first Artfight, draw so many attacks and kept up with the revenges too. Like, holy crow, it just started! In fact, most of my Artfight streams, I would have a link pinned at the top so people in the chat could also join in on the fun and attack the person I was attacking, which some of them did. It was kind of fun to see the chatters just rolling on in and announce, I got attacked! And all of us would be like, good, you deserve it. Ah boy, the only time it is good to say you got attacked is during an Artfight. Yep, good times. Now I will admit I drew a lot of characters this Artfight because choosing a style I want to draw my characters in, the chibi sticker style, and getting my references early helped. Though I think I set my sights pretty high when making my goal 30. Yep, I was crazy and said I want to do 30 drawings for this Artfight. That meant 1 drawing a day. Gosh, I'm a workaholic. Though I think I managed to do pretty well, as I would sketch up the drawings before stream, ink them in batches, and then do the coloring. This also meant I would post in batches, but hey, that's okay. My chat also started placing bets with their channel points on how many I could finish at one time, which was fun to see what the outcome would be. Honestly, they were more or less betting on how focused I would be during drawing. But hey, I totally didn't get distracted. And that's another thing I like about Artfight. You can use it to practice, like a style or technique that you want to get better at. If you can only draw a sketch, let me tell you this, come close, come close. It is okay. Again, The biggest thing about Artfight besides the competition part, it is first and foremost a gifting game. Getting to see your OC drawn in different styles is part of the fun, and everyone has their own style, and this goes beyond traditional and digital crafts. Here's a quick list of things I saw people do. Going back to using Artfight to practice styles, like I mentioned earlier, I noticed that as I drew up my chibis, with them mostly being full bodies, I was challenged to try different poses, different lighting, and more than I would normally do if it was just an illustration. And I really tried to make it so that every chibi I drew was a different pose than the character I did before, or even make sure that it worked for the character I was drawing. And if the character only had a partial reference, I would try to brainstorm something for them that felt like it fit. It made me really happy when people said they really liked what I did with their character, that they even made some things that I put on the character canon for them. I tend to think of myself as a slow artist, since I tend to spend most of my time drawing with line art to make sure it looks good, which is fair because I want to make sure the person is getting the best of the best. But I honestly think I've gotten faster. In some of the drawings, I even started using the lasso tool to help shape out hair, or even the body, even using the outline tool, tools I normally wouldn't use. And I think that's because since Artfight is a month-long event, and as I said before, I had to draw in batches, it made me diversify my tool base, which is great if you want to try new things with your art. Most of my personal attacks were against people I've been eyeing for a while, and some of them were also friends too, in and out of the group. Yes, just because you're in the group doesn't mean that you're safe. I do wish though that Artfight was a little bit longer, as I wanted to draw so many other people's OCs. And besides the whole drawing characters, I feel like that Artfight is good because it connects you with other people. You see a cool OC from someone and you want to be seen. Drawing their OC does that, and I found some really cool people I would never have heard about or probably even seen if it wasn't for Artfight. And also it is fun to try something new, cause not everyone's OC is the same. Every single one of them is unique in their own right, and making the attempt to draw them is also a learning experience. I found that this Artfight drawing super detailed characters was a lot of fun, as I normally keep my chibis pretty simple, but I ended up drawing some pretty detailed ones, some with even multiple characters as well. And of course it made me so happy when I saw the owners were super excited to see their OC drawn. Some of them even popped in on stream and saw it. The entire experience is just honestly a positive one if you're looking to get into art. So if you've been wanting to join Artfight, I would say go for it. And if you missed this one, don't worry, there's always going to be one for next year. In fact, I'm already planning my revenge list for next year, because I couldn't get all of the people that attacked me back. And also, to finish this up, the one thing that did make me super happy this Artfight is seeing people draw my OCs, especially from my comic. I had put up some of my characters who won't be appearing until a lot later, and had to hold back on some details. But even with just that, everyone did such amazing drawings of them. Legit, you guys had me flailing on the flippin' floor. Seriously though, thank you everyone who attacked my comic OCs, and I promise I'll do my best to get the comic back up and running for you guys soon. And that about wraps it up for this one. I want to say again a big thank you to everyone that attacked me and also joined me in the Artfight streams for the month of July. The art sliding on the top right are a few attacks I got, so please go check them all out. You can also see them in my Artfight page as well too, so definitely check them out. Please, 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 they're really, really cool. And also thank you to Rook Leonhardt for voicing a part in the video. And for the people I mentioned in this video, aka the Gremlin Bucks gang, I will list their Twitch links down below for you too. And again, a big thank you to my community, the Night Owls, for supporting me on this. You guys are all goobers, literally. You guys are goobers as heck. If you want to see the art I show in these before they become a speed paint, come and check out my Twitch. I also have a Ko-fi as well if you want to see things I'm working on behind the scenes, and feel free to subscribe as it does help the channel out too. Anyways, I will see you all in the next one.